Crystal.
I'm Will.
And you're our audience. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Sunday. Or at least I hope it's a lovely Sunday where you are. It's a lovely Sunday where we are. So, hon, you picked today's topic. What would you like to talk about?
Vanilla ice cream.
Okay.
No, actually, I don't want to talk about.
Well,
vanilla
hold
ice
on.
cream.
I've got opinions about ice cream. We can.
I know you have opinions about ice cream. You have opinions about just about everything.
Spumoni is the superior ice cream flavor.
Spumoni's not an ice cream.
What do you mean it's not an ice cream? It's literally an ice cream.
It's not.
It is.
You can't. There's too much going on there.
Wait, no, it's chocolate, pistachio, and cherry.
Yeah.
3 amazing flavors
Again,
together, making an amazing
that
ice
should
cream.
never touch each other.
What the hell?
I believe in complete, segregation when it comes to ice cream.
You have.
I think the vanilla should stay vanilla, the chocolate should stay chocolate, and the cherry and
you
the
almost
raspberry.
said strawberry. You were talking about Neapolitan, which is nothing like Spumoni. I know where you were going with that.
I'm what my family calls a basic bitch. I like basic cookies. I like basic ice cream. I like basic things in life.
Elizabeth said that a snickerdoodle was a basic bitch cookie.
I like apple pie, vanilla ice cream, and I like them together. I like plain cookies, sugar cookies, snickerdoodles. This is what I like. It doesn't mean that I'm a basic bitch, or I like everything I like is a basic bitch cookie or
and
ice
Pabst
cream.
Blue Ribbon.
Do you guys ever think about what you're saying to me all the time?
You know what though? I want to take what you've said here, and I want to extrapolate, and I want to discuss something with our audience.
What's that?
So I have a friend of mine.
Is she a basic bitch?
You know her. You love her. She's got Live, Laugh, Love painted up on her walls. She's got, scented candles.
Becca?
No.
Huh?
Missa.
Oh, I love Missa.
And people make jokes about her because of her basicness. But here's the thing. Being basic is a meme, right? But there's literally nothing wrong with it. Love what you love unapologetically.
Well, I do.
I know.
You guys don't like it, but that's okay.
Just for you, for the audience especially. Yes, being basic is a meme, but also like what you like. There's literally nothing wrong with consuming something that other people consume. Whether it comes to print media, if it comes to snickerdoodles, if it comes to nasty beer. Pabst Blue Ribbon is nasty and there's no excuse for it. But, other than that, other than Pabst.
There's a stick in your hair.
Yes, there is a stick in my hair.
Oh. What is that?
It's a hair stick.
Oh. I just saw a piece of wood in your hair. I was like, honey, there's a piece of wood in your hair. Oh, is this that thing that you bought online? Oh, that's kind of neat looking, I guess. If you're into basic things like this.
Mm-hmm. Which I am, which I love. I'm into a lot of basic stuff. I like coffee. A lot of people consider coffee. Be like, oh, you're drinking coffee. No. Oops. Spumoni ice cream, obviously.
Not ice cream.
Pardon me, audience.
But go ahead. Your Spumoni ice cream.
But you know what? There's nothing wrong with...
You never buy it.
It's because I can't ever find any place that has it for sale.
Oh.
I've checked Fred's, I've checked Yolks. Every great once in a while I can find it for sale, but nobody has it. I just gotta buy.
Do you like Spumoni ice cream?
I bet you do.
Is it ice cream? Is Spumoni a real ice cream?
Of course it's ice cream. You can't say it's... Even if it was freaking... If it was basalt and locust flavor, it would still be ice cream because it's made of ice cream.
Some of that? Basalt ice cream. That sounds good.
No, it doesn't.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, You have an issue with promoting ice cream? What brought up this topic?
Oh, you mean other than I can't find it?
Mm.
Yeah, no, I was talking about spumoni because you said you like vanilla, and then you said that you were joking, and I said no, we can talk about ice cream because I have opinions about ice cream.
Well, I like vanilla ice cream, but I don't like the mass-produced stuff you find in the store because they don't use real vanilla. They use that fake vanilla, and you can tell the difference.
Yeah, real vanilla is pretty yummy, but it's also
I mean,
pricey.
I think Dryers makes one that has real vanilla bean in it.
Mm.
You know, it's made with real vanilla bean. That stuff's pretty good.
Well,
I don't like the whip. Yeah, I forgot to turn off the notifications.
Yeah, then you've also got considerations when it comes to purchasing ice cream, such as the company you're purchasing from.
Okay, what does that have to do with it?
Well, I'm a big advocate of consumer activism.
Okay.
So, when you're buying an ice cream, is that company owned by a company that you don't want to support, such as Nestle, which is a complete shit company with
What's
shit
wrong with
ethics?
Nestle?
Do you mean besides water rights violations and the fact that they still use slave labor in their out-of-company supply chain?
Have you seen this firsthand?
Please see. Dude, they were investigated by Congress.
I think I was investigated by Congress.
You were not investigated. No, seriously.
Well,
a
Congress
number
investigates a lot of stuff. Doesn't mean that they're guilty of it.
Major U.S. chocolate companies still use slave labor in their out of supply company supply chains, out of country. Mean? So what that means is that obviously slavery having been outlawed in the United States, these companies don't use slave labor for the products that they produce in country. They use them for their out of country supply chains. So stuff that they're sourcing, like their coca, right? Where they're sourcing it from. Those companies are using slave labor to harvest the coca for their chocolate. In fact, something like 7 or 8 of the top 10 major chocolate companies, M&M, Mars, Nestle, and a bunch of, even the one that I used to like, got bought up by another company that uses slave labor in their chain. The one that made the really yummy lavender and blueberry chocolate that everybody made faces. Anyways, they use slave labor in their out-of-company supply chain, and so they've been investigated. They've been Congress. They've had da-da-da-da, and the chocolate companies were like, well, it's not us. It's the companies that we buy from, so it's fine because we're not doing it. And, people were like, actually, it's not fine, and you need to not do it anymore. And they're like, well, we can't do anything about it. And they're like, well, yeah, you can. And so then like, okay. Well, rather than holding us legally accountable, how about you give us, it was like 10 or 15 years, however long it was. They're like, how about you give us time and we'll take care of it ourselves, right? And you know what happens when you allow an industry to police itself?
Everything works out great.
Yeah, it fails. So that, yeah. Nestle is they're not a good company. They don't have good company ethics.
It says only you.
No, it says a lot of people.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't have any proof of that.
Well, you have a computer right in front of you. You are able to Google it.
I'm busy.
You're busy.
I live a busy life. I don't have time to, look up and fact check everything you just said.
Okay. Well, that's fine. But
so I'm just going to have to take your word for that that you've actually done the research on this, and you're not just putting Nestle down because you're backed by Mars Candy Bar Company or something.
Mars Candy does the same thing.
Oh, you're supported by Ghirardelli.
I don't think that they do.
See, maybe that's why you're here today, telling everybody that Nestle sucks because they have too much of the market share, so you can drive up the price of your Ghirardelli, and then you can flip it on your day trading.
I'm an agent for Big Chocolate.
Are you?
No.
No, I thought you were admitting that that you were an agent for Big Chocolate.
So there are companies that maintain information on the slave trade in the candy industry, and it does take a little bit of time. True. But one of the things that I do when I'm looking at purchasing candy is I will Google the company and see about their ethics as far as how they're sourcing their materials. And as you know, I can carry a grudge for a long amount of time.
A long, long time.
I still don't buy Land O'Lakes butter.
I do.
I know you do. We had a discussion about it.
I still like the butter.
You were the one who purchased it. I am not going to hold that against you. You, as a consumer, are able to purchase what you want. I don't, because about 20 years ago, they screwed over a bunch of small farmers. And Land O'Lakes doesn't just do butter and dairy products. They also have many subsidiary companies. They make animal feed and stuff like that. And they screwed over a bunch of small farmers, caused upwards of millions of dollars of loss of livestock. And that is not acceptable to me, because and what happened was they put out bags of tainted feed. Okay, they realized that they'd put out bags of tainted feed, and before it hit news, they sent representatives around to various small ranches that had purchased these tainted feed bags, and they went to these ranches and they said, "You bought our alpaca feed, and it had the wrong ratio of nutrients. We would like to replace the feed that you bought free of charge, and if you have any empty sacks that you've already fed your alpacas, give them to us, and we will replace that with full feed also." And the ranchers are like, "Oh, thank you for telling us. Here's the bags that we bought. Here's the empty sacks that we bought." They got their free stuff. They went on. It hit the news that this feed was tainted and that alpacas were dying, and ranchers who were losing herd stock were like, "Oh my God, we had fed that feed. That must be what's happening. That's why we're losing so much stock." So in addition to the fact that they lost animals, they've also got vet bills run up for checking out live animals, necroscopy fees and stuff like that from these ranchers trying to figure out what's going on. So they have all of these fees built up. So Land O'Lakes goes, "Oh my gosh, you lost livestock because of our feed? That's awful. Hey, if you bring us those empty sacks of feed to prove that you fed them to your alpacas, we'll definitely reimburse you for the cost of your livestock." But most of them couldn't, because Land O'Lakes Tracks, who buys their products, went out and got those sacks of old feed and all that and replaced them with new stuff. So a bunch of ranchers never got recompense for the alpacas that died.
I'm sorry I asked about the butter.
You should have been.
I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. So is everything that you read about have to do with how bad corporate America is?
Okay, so we're gonna pause for just a moment while I say I am of the opinion that corporations are not good citizens, because a corporation isn't in a community. They're profit driven. Ergo, they can't be a good citizen because they're about money. Sure, corporations can act in a way, good citizenry, but it's not. I don't want to say it's not genuine, but it's also motivated by profit, because they're like, "Hey, maybe people will buy our shit if we buy Little League costumes or costumes."
Has Land O'Lakes done something like this before then, and have they done it since then?
So for me,
and was it the actual butter company or a company that they owned?
They own it, and therefore it's their responsibility to take care of it.
So the butter manufacturer, Land O'Lakes themselves, they knew.
Well, hold on.
They knew. They were complicit in it, or did they know, and they were complicit in this cover up, or was it all the other company that they owned, and people within that company were saving their butts?
Honey, so I don't understand why that would be an argument for continuing.
Not an argument, it's a question.
Well, okay, but a subsidiary company is still owned by that company. Actions that a subsidiary takes.
Do you think Jeff Bezos knows exactly what's happening, and or anybody at Amazon knows exactly what's happening at Zappo Shoes?
No.
Do you think that they, if Zappo, had been cleaning their warehouse and they spilled a bunch of chemicals and it, went downriver and it killed a bunch of, people downriver, do you think that they would know, that Jeff Bezos would absolutely know and is therefore complicit in what Zappos did?
No, not at all. But
how does Land O'Lakes then become complicit in the cover-up?
Because
Okay.
once it comes to light, if that parent company doesn't make it right, they are now complicit.
Okay, so
So say Zappos Shoes kills a bunch of fucking fish, right? Jeff doesn't know anything about it. As soon as it hits and he finds out, he owns that company. If he doesn't make it right, then it is his fault. He has an he might not have known it happened, but it's his responsibility as the owner. If your kid breaks somebody's window, just be like, "Oh, I didn't know he's going to break your window. Sucks to be you." Or do you replace the window? You replace
you
the
tell
window.
you tell him, look, that ain't my fault. You know, here's the kid who broke the window, beat him, you know, or whatever. Take it out on him. No, that's not the answer. No.
No, it's not the answer.
Okay, fine. All right. I just don't see how, you know, you can hold it against the, you know, the parent company.
Easy.
I
Because it's their...
I would hold the company who actually made the feed, you know, responsible, and I would hold them accountable and hold them to the fire for what they did, not necessarily what their, you know, the parent company, you know, or 10 companies up from them, you know, did, or 5 companies below.
The parent company makes money off the decisions of the subsidiary companies. And
I make money off of companies, you know.
I am not a rancher. I have absolutely no influence on that whatsoever. But I do purchase a shit ton of butter because Mama likes to eat.
Yeah, neither one of us got this way because we eat green salads.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not a rancher and I can't influence that market. But what I can do is I can use my consumer dollars to express my displeasure with the parent company. So no, I can't influence the market for ranchers. But what I can do is I can act in solidarity with them by putting economic pressure on the parent company.
Have they done anything like this since?
Yeah, but they never said sorry, so I don't give a shit. Like I said, but before we go much farther, I was using this example explicitly to show how badly I could hold a grudge. I recognize at this point in time that it's no longer a rational take. It's just me being, you know, giving them the middle finger. So, yeah, no, I don't like them. They did a thing. They never said sorry, so fuck them.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
For each and every one of the companies that you day trade and buy and sell their stock, do you, you know, invest your time and energy to make sure that these people are, you know, ethically, you know, not using slave labor or anything else in, you know, up chain, down chain, sideways chain, or whatever it may be?
It's interesting that you would mention that. So, as you know,
it's a question.
No, it's interesting that you would put that because that actually has an impact on the reason why my day trades have been failing is because I do research prior to deciding to purchase, and by the time I've made that decision, typically whatever exchange is trading that stock has halted trading. So my hesitancy to make money off of a company that I find to act in an unethical manner is putting a damper on the trajectory with which I would like to build my wealth.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, now granted, I'm not like doing a deep dive financial, you know, comb through their financials and whatnot, but you know, I'm gonna check on social media. I'm gonna see what people are saying about them from their interactions with this company in general. I'm gonna see if there's been any scandals in the news. You know, I'm not doing a super deep dive, but you know, I'm doing what I consider to be, you know,
you're doing your due diligence.
Yeah, you know, and usually by the time I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and invest in this company, and then I go to hit buy, and the New York Stock Exchange is like, ooh, turns out a lot of people were making money on this, and they're not like super wealthy, they're kind of poor, so we went ahead and put the kibosh on that. Sorry, did you want to buy some? Did you want to buy some of this instead?
Can you talk a little bit lower? I don't think anybody over there on the.
They heard me.
They heard me. You talk like a little mouse.
Sometimes
I can't hear you. If I'm sitting right here and I can't hear you, I'm sure that the audience can't hear you.
I think the audience can hear me just fine. I think you should get your hearing checked. And by the way, that's not a joke. He should get his hearing checked. I've had this conversation with him multiple times.
What?
See?
I hear perfectly fine.
I don't think you do.
As long as you sit on this side of me, I can hear you. What? Oh. Okay.
All right.
So you're mocking me. You're making fun of the disabled.
Oh no, I'm just picking on my husband. It's completely different.
Okay, so we started off talking about ice cream
Mhm.
and being a basic person.
There's
And
nothing wrong with that.
and now we've moved on from Land O'Lakes is a terrible company because they did something 2 generations ago.
Land O'Lakes actually might be a perfectly good company right now. That example was an example of me holding a grudge.
I hold a grudge against Peugeot, the motor car company.
Yeah, why?
Because of that station wagon that we own.
That one station wagon.
I hold a grudge because of that car. Back, Elizabeth is 24, so she was what, 5?
She's not 24. She's 23.
What?
Elizabeth
She just had a birthday.
Yeah, her 23rd birthday.
But she made me give her $24.
No, she made you give her $23, hon.
Yeah, and then she scanned me out of $30 for Jimmy John's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how much Jimmy John's do you need?
Hey, you know what we should bring up to our audience?
They're right over there.
There's so many cameras. I think yeah.
No, they're right over there. The one with the light on. That's the camera we're talking to.
With the weather getting warmer, I think it's definitely important that we touch on a couple of items. Pardon me. Sunscreen. Use it. Melanoma is awful.
I never use it.
And there's a myth that's going around that says that if you are naturally dark-skinned, that you don't have to wear sunscreen. That is a myth. Dark-skinned people still get skin cancer.
I never use it. I keep on, every time I'm at the store, I'm not joking. The last sunscreen that I had was about, I want to say 8 years ago. I used to keep a little one in, bottle of it in my golf bag. And I used it up, and I have totally forgotten. Every time I'm at the store, I'm like, I have to get some sunscreen. It's on my list, and I always forget. That's terrible, right?
Yes.
It's like last week, I went to the store 5 times in the same day to get the same item, and every time I came home, I never bought it.
You always forget to buy chippies too.
I buy so many chippies. You guys eat chips way too much.
He's not wrong. We do. We eat chips way too much.
Very unhealthy for you.
It is 100%. There's no redeeming value other than the fact that it's a potato. It's a vegetable. I'm eating my vegetables.
So are you counting that as a vegetable that our son has eaten?
It's probably the only way for a... Ooh, he's been eating broccoli.
Yeah?
Well, he's been asking for broccoli.
He has a very... I'm drawing a blank on the word I was going to use there. Aversion. He has a strong aversion to any kind of vegetable.
Cannot get a vegetable in that baby.
He will eat fruit all day long, but he will not eat a vegetable.
And meat. Yeah, he'll yeah.
Fruit and meat. Yep. Well, but I worry about him eating a balanced diet, and I've tried just about everything.
Honestly,
I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna go get some more of those bird's eye pastas.
It worries me too, but I'm in a couple of communities with children with unique challenges, and having talked to parents whose kids have food aversions, I'm not as worried about it as I was beforehand. There's a gal in one of my mom's groups whose kid has severe food aversions to the point where they have occasionally had to been hospitalized because they just refuse to eat.
So how much longer until ours has to be hospitalized?
Anyways, one of the things that I've gotten from talking to these other parents is that sometimes you just got to keep trying, just keep offering the foods. Having them see you eat them is a huge thing, because if the kid's like, all right, you've offered me this to eat, but you've got that over there. What's that about? You know, it is something I'm also worried about, but I guess part of it is I've seen parents who have it much, much worse than we do. And wow. I have no idea where my train of thought just went.
It went out there.
Yep, it did.
It left. I watched it walk out the door.
Bye, train of thought.
Yeah.
Have a good day. Anyways, it could be worse. And it'll get better.
I just don't see it happening. Have you ever noticed that he likes to eat food that is red? Have you ever noticed that he likes to eat food that is red in color?
No.
Mm-hmm. It's by far his favorite color of food. If you offer him something that is red in color, he'll eat it. Not orange, not pink. It's got to be red. Hot dogs, he'll eat the pimentos out of olives. I'm not kidding. Things that are red.
Do you think we can grow olives?
Well, they grow on a tree. Can we grow a tree? Yes, we can grow a tree.
Dork. Do you think that olives would grow in this climate?
Well, I don't see why not. I mean, we have limes, we have lemons that grow here. We can grow plums, apricots, apples. I think you probably have to do something, to get them started, and maybe like the first couple of years, kind of like our cherry tree. You have to take care of it in the first years, a lot more, closely.
We have a lot of buds on our cherry tree this year.
Mm-hmm. I think we might get some fruit from it this year. I mean, it's only a couple of years old, the tree, but it's one of 3 that survived total out of all the ones you bought.
I bought what, 5?
Yeah.
About 5, and I think 3 lived.
Well, I'm pretty sure that your mom has all the other ones planted in her property.
Yeah, she's worried about the jujube tree. She doesn't think it's gonna.
And you can always graft it if it's still alive. Graft it onto something else. I don't know how to do that personally, but I've seen it done on YouTube, so I know it can be done. But back to our son. By far his favorite color of things that he eats are red.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't really pay attention to that.
And he really nitpicks at anything that is green. I wonder if something that has to do with what is pleasing eyesight was, and what is visually disturbing, I guess to him.
I saw an interesting little thing that drifted through Facebook, and it actually got me thinking, and it pointed out the fact that when you give a kid a processed food, regardless of what it is, in this particular case, I think it was M&Ms or something like that, right? They always taste exactly the same, right? If you eat an M&M, it tastes exactly the same. But compared to a bowl of blueberries, where every once in a while there's a sour one or there's a super sweet one, right? There's a huge variance in how they taste. And I was thinking about that. That crossed my timeline, and I was like, and I was like, that's actually a really, really good point, especially for kids who thrive on predictability. The unpredictability of certain foods may very well be part of the reason why they don't want to eat them. If you're eating a bowl of berries and some of them are delicious and some of them not so delicious, but you're eating a bowl of this and it's always delicious.
Well, he really likes Honeycrisp apples, but won't eat a red apple. But even though he's a red delicious, he won't eat that apple. He'll give it to him. He'll cut it up for me. He'll give him pieces. He won't eat it, but he'll eat the hell out of Honeycrisp. He loves the cutie pie oranges. Won't eat any other type of orange.
God,
Just the little mandarin oranges. But he won't eat a regular orange. Because it's he's so set in in what he likes and what he doesn't like. And he's only 4. Right? He's 4, right?
Yes, he's
Since
4.
I was wrong on the other one.
Yeah, the baby's 4. Hey, speaking of which, did you see that a 4-year-old won the Josh War? The Josh fight?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh. It was a thing that was started because there was a guy who was bored, so he started like a big group chat with a bunch of people.
Is it like baby fights? Like, Fight
No, it
Club?
was this guy. He got a bunch of he started a group chat with a bunch of people who were also named Josh, and he said on this date at this location at this time, everybody who's named Josh is going to fight. The winner gets to stay named Josh, and the losers all have to change their name to something else. And it kind of grew, from this guy who was just entertaining himself because he was bored into this big thing, and a bunch of people named Josh actually showed up at that date and time and had a big Josh fight. And there was a little kid there. He's like 4 years old. His name is Josh, and he won. He got a trophy and everything.
Nobody beat him up?
Well, they had pool noodles, honey. There's not a whole lot of beating up with pool noodles, but he was.
So the baby won by default because there was nobody else to fight the baby.
Oh my gosh! They declared little Josh the winner. And
why didn't somebody take him out?
His words of wisdom were, "I always fight everyone."
I always fight everyone?
Yeah, it was cute.
Huh. But so nobody wanted to fight the baby. If I would have known, I would have shown up and fought the baby.
You couldn't go. Your name is Will, not Josh, so you couldn't go to the Josh fight.
Well, how did the baby get there? Did he drive?
Yeah, his dad brought him. His dad's name is Josh.
Really?
Yeah.
So the baby didn't drive. Huh. Where all this take place and when?
Like Illinois, I think.
Oh.
And the 24th.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
And the baby won. He got a trophy and stuff.
Yeah.
I want a trophy.
Yeah, somebody gave him a...
Will you get me a trophy?
Yeah, I'll get you a trophy, babe.
I want a big one.
You'll be the big
I want one of those like really, really big tall ones like they give to like
Like the Stanley Cup?
Ooh, yeah. Can I get one of those? Can I have a Stanley Cup?
Yeah. You can
Will you buy me a Stanley Cup, a big one?
Oh.
I don't want like the little one. I want a big one. I want a huge one like sit in the background. And so people ask me stupid questions about like, hey, how'd you get that? And I can go, my wife bought it for me. Because I wanted a big trophy and she bought it for me.
We'll get you a big trophy.
I don't want to have to earn it though.
Okay, I'll make you one. I'm sure I can make one at home.
Ooh.
You know.
Can it be shiny?
I can always make it at home for cheaper.
Oh, I know. Maybe like put aluminum foil on it or something. So it's shiny. That way I can see my reflection in it every day. And I could polish it and I could say, yeah, I am somebody.
Yeah. And I know you're joking, but if you keep it up, I'm going to make you a giant trophy. Out of tinfoil.
Yeah, but you're just going to wad up a bunch of tinfoil and go, here's your trophy. You're not even going to put any effort into it. Now I'm sad.
Aww. Well, let's sign off then.
For what?
We'll sign off and then I'll make you feel better.
Will you?
Oh, God. Why did you turn it?
You walked into that one, not me. I didn't even start it. You made me feel better. Make me feel better. Ta-da. That was all you. You set up your own punchline joke there, the whole thing.
I apologize. All right. I hope everybody has a great Sunday. Thank you for joining us.
Is today Sunday?
Yes, today's Sunday.
Oh, I have to golf tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh, shoot.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.